Hey everyone, my name is Donnie Lowy from Closeout Hope you're doing well today. Today I'd like to talk to you about how you could start a business selling liquidated merchandise on Amazon. Basically, liquidated merchandise is merchandise that comes from a business that has gone out of business. It could come from a large retailer, from a mom and pop shop, from a boutique. It can actually come from a wholesaler that is liquidating merchandise because they can no longer sell that merchandise or they are going out of business. Now, as a liquidator, what you're going to do is you're going to be buying the merchandise at a very, very low cost, but you have to be careful because you're buying merchandise that either someone else could not sell. Then you want to be very careful. You want to find out why they couldn't sell that merchandise. You want to make sure that you are going to be able to sell that merchandise, or you're going to buy merchandise that someone just did not sell because they had a store and they cannot afford to pay the rent anymore. They closed the doors. The merchandise was perfectly good, but they just cannot support their business anymore. So, excuse me. So there are a lot of ways to do it. Now, once you buy that liquidated merchandise and you want to sell it on Amazon, what you're going to do is you're going to organize yourself, make an inventory of what you have, and then look at the products that you have that are already being sold on Amazon and match those products up, and then you can list those products through Amazon. You become an Amazon seller first, and then you're going to decide if you want to take your liquidated merchandise and send it directly to Amazon for them to fulfill it, or you want to be able to send the orders out yourself. If you send out the orders out yourself, you have an advantage because you don't have to pay Amazon a storage fee for your products. So what I would recommend is if you have products that you see on Amazon sell very fast, they're really popular items, then send those items to Amazon because Amazon is not going to store those items for that long. They're going to use those items and then right away can use them to fill orders. But if you see items that sell very slowly, then don't send them to Amazon because you don't want to lose your profit by having to pay Amazon a storage fee every month. Now, when you do sell liquidated merchandise on Amazon, be very careful that the merchandise that you're selling is in brand new condition. Because if the merchandise was sitting in a store for a while, you want to make sure it's not outdated, first of all. You want to make sure the merchandise isn't damaged. You want to make sure the merchandise wasn't returned to the store and then the store just put it back on the shelf. Because if the merchandise is in brand new condition, okay, that's one thing. But if someone returned the merchandise and the merchandise is damaged, you don't want to send it to Amazon. A buyer is going to complain. You're going to get a bad seller rating, and Amazon could close your account. So when selling liquidated merchandise on Amazon, you have to be very careful in knowing what it is that you're selling. Take your time, look through the merchandise. Now, don't get tempted to send Amazon merchandise that isn't good quality, right? Take a loss on it and just cover that loss by hopefully making your money on the merchandise that's in good condition. And if you want to save yourself a lot of headache, what you do is before buying the liquidated merchandise, make sure that it is in good condition. And you can use an app to scan the barcode and see what merchandise sells on Amazon and at what price. So before buying the products, you already have an idea how much you could sell it for on Amazon, and then you'll know if it's worthwhile for you in the first place to buy those products. Now, there's other things you could do. If you want to get liquidation merchandise, you can go to a store that goes out of business. You could go to a wholesaler and see what merchandise a wholesaler is willing to liquidate. But you can also buy liquidation pallets from department stores, from large retailers. The only challenge of that is that a lot of times those pallets are store returns. Store returns can have a lot of damaged merchandise. You're not going to be able to sell that on Amazon. So if you do buy a store return pallet, and let's say 20% of the pallet's going to be damaged, so you're not going to be able to sell it through your Amazon business, what you're going to have to do then is either factor in the cost with the other 80% of the merchandise, so your cost has actually gone up, and you're going to have to make sure that you can make money with that 80%. Or your second option is you're going to have to find another sales channel besides Amazon to sell that merchandise. You might try to fix it yourself and sell it at a flea market. You might sell it from your own store. You might make a garage sale. You can sell it on eBay. And you'd have to, of course, have a disclaimer that the merchandise is slightly used or slightly damaged. For example, if you buy a pallet of store return shoes, so the shoes actually could be in perfect condition, except they might be worn, and that's why someone brought them back. Or they might be very damaged. So there are things like that you have to take into account. All right, the next time you're in New York, you're welcome to visit my warehouse. My website is closeoutexplosion.com. Thank you and have a great day.